I like CNN interviews just as much as the next guy, which is probably to say that rather than watching a CNN interview, I would rather go and have all of my wisdom teeth pulled out at the same time. But then it's not every day that you can say that an interview almost destroyed your country right here. So yes, easy watch.
Yes, we must stop the excesses.
But you would accept A, Israel's right to exist,
Yes, yes,
and B, Israel's right to defend itself.
yes.
If you know nothing about Malaysia, just know this. Malaysia has no diplomatic relations with Israel, the vast majority of the population is Muslim, and many people in the country have a vested fear and hatred of Israel. Why is that? More in the next video. For now though, all you need to know is that the internet exploded. So the Malaysian government responded immediately. Anwar himself came up with an explanation. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil said that the video gave the wrong impression, and Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution suggested anyone who spreads this will get in trouble right there. Yeah, good luck, considering that it's all over TikTok and all over Facebook, and Elon Musk is not going to listen to you, and neither will Richard Quest right there, so the video is going to stay up. But is this really just an attempt to sabotage Anwar Ibrahim's government? I mean, people can definitely just cut things out and then splice things in, make people seem like they didn't say something that they should have said or said something that they shouldn't have said. But TBH, I don't think there's any manipulation here. I don't think there's any attempt to make Anwar look bad. I think that he actually said what he said. If we were to say that he didn't say what he did say, then that means basically that somebody just took the video clip, cut up the audio, and then splice it up somewhere. You want to see a fake statement? Yeah, it looks like this.
I approve of Richard.
That is the mark of an edited clip. You can obviously see the choppiness right there. Now, I'm not saying that the clip that PMX was in was definitely not edited maliciously, but in order to make that happen, you need to basically make sure that essentially the person can align both with the video and also with the audio, their lips, their positions not jerking along the way. So let's pay close attention to PMX. The entire conversation, the relevant part, is basically just a smooth audio form, and there's no reason to say that that entire part of the conversation was deceptively edited, meaning that like he made somebody say something that they didn't actually say. No, I think that he actually said what he said. But whoa, far be it from me to decide what the Madani government should do or should not do. If you really are offended, if you really want to take action, then you know what, maybe you should. In fact, maybe you shouldn't just take action against Richard Quest, but you can also take legal action against his totally sketch news agency CNN, and at the same time, you could take legal action also against Datuk Seri Mukris, or basically every single Malaysian out there who has voiced their grievances and said that, yeah, he actually said this. But let's be totally real though. This is not just a regular standard issue mistake. No, this is the hugest challenge that Malaysia's unity government and Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has ever faced in the entire history of the new Madani government, in my opinion. First of all, Palestine is basically an issue that concerns all the Muslims in the entire world right now, the entire Ummah, as they say. A lot of people out there are very lizard brain when it comes to the issue of Palestine right there. And to be fair, it's not totally without reason. I mean, the whole Israel-Hamas conflict didn't start on October 7th. I mean, like, there's a whole long history that predates all of that, like dating back to 1948 during what we call the Nakba. And maybe even before that, if you think about the Mandate on Palestine, the beginnings of Zionism, and the McMahon-Hussein correspondence. Traditionally, Malaysia's been a huge leader on this front, and PMX has been as well, and you can see why it would be super controversial if PMX was seen to be supporting Israel, because that would cause the entire Muslim population right there to basically rise up, look at him differently, and then potentially choose not to vote for him. It can cause an electoral loss, it can cause the downfall of the unity government, it can cause essentially a complete restructuring of the entirety of Malaysia if they don't control the narrative. If they don't solve this problem, right, Anwar as a Muslim leader is seen to step wrongly on this issue, right? Like, he will literally lose his prime ministership because that's how strongly people feel about it. So I will say that it sounds understandable that actually the government will go out there and then respond to it, but it doesn't mean that I think that that's the right thing for them to do. Rather than going through this whole long denial, or for that matter, treating the Malaysian people like they are stupid, I think honestly the very best thing that he could have done is just admit, yeah, I messed up. I said something that I should not have said. I'm sorry to the Malaysian people. This is my apology. I think that would make things so much easier right there. I don't think that the Malaysian people are an unforgiving people. Because they are not an unforgiving people, I think that they can accept the explanation that PMX too is human and human beings can make mistakes. Sure, some of them have a political goal. They specifically want to throw down PMX because they want to put in their own puppet candidate right there. But at the end of the day, I think that if you appeal to the average Malaysian citizen, the one that actually wants this country to be governed in the best possible way and not for it to be governed just by people who want to have a certain religion take front and center no matter what, and even if the economy is destroyed right here, I think it is quite easy to actually get the forgiveness of the Malaysian people. But that's not going to happen if you keep on denying that you said what you said, or if you go around saying that you're going to threaten people who try and repeat a certain thing over and over again. No, this is not the way. The easiest way is for you to just apologize and say, I'm sorry, I messed up, and people will respect you a lot more for that. I don't think that his support for the people of Palestine is in question, given that he literally just went out there and said, hey, you know what, we need to kick Israel out of the United Nations. That's not what someone who supports Israel would immediately say. But I will say that whether we are Malay, Chinese, or Indian, we all have an innate moral sense and we know when we're being made fun of or deceived. If he doesn't apologize, right, then we have another problem, because then it shows that our PM is trying to act strong, which is kind of understandable, but also that he is too arrogant, or if not arrogant, then at least inauthentic and play safe to actually admit his mistakes or to say, I'm sorry, when in reality that's a very simple part of communicating responsibly with the people that you're supposed to serve. Unless what, like you're saying that like you cannot say sorry? Come on, like throughout our entire lives, one of the things that we need to learn is that we need to abandon our egos. We learned this early in school, and surely the Prime Minister should be capable of this if basically he misspoke. If Anwar had apologized, he would have actually seemed human. I think that's something that we have been looking for in our Prime Minister for a very long time. There was a time when he was just an opposition candidate that was trying to seek office and he was looking for our votes right there. He was speaking to the hearts of all of us out there.
Tegakkan keadilan, tak kira bagi Melayu, Cina, India.
As he fought for justice and reformasi along the way right there. But I don't know, listening to him speak in this way right here and denying that he said what he said is itself kind of reflective of sad politics. I do feel that Anwar can salvage some good from the situation, and if he apologized, he could really show us the promise of a better future with maybe like some productive steps forward like with Israel and Palestine and everything like that. But, and this is just my prediction, if he doesn't apologize and he just shows off this high-handed manner right here, then he's going to alienate the vast majority of Malaysians. Not just the Muslims, but also the non-Muslims along the way as well, and his entire support base, all the people who had ever voted for him in the very first place right here. I mean, he might still win an election because people just hate past from the bottom of their hearts. But I'm pretty sure that the effects on trust of the ruling government and belief in whatever Madani is supposed to be right here is going to just drop like a rock. Prime Minister Anwar, please consider apologizing. I think that's the best thing for you to do right here and right now. Believe in the people who voted for you. Unless of course you don't believe in us, in which case then, yeah, do whatever it is that you want. Alright, and that's it. See ya.